I say, welcome everybody to a humble hostel. There's always room for you if you keep your heart full of unity. With respect for your brother, enjoy your stay with the outpost. A house like no other, cause this place is alive. You can't shut it down, special guest on guitar. Give life to the sound of the beat of your heart. Your feet will start moving, got this under control. Now it's time to start grooving at the outpost. We in the outpost, yeah. We're in the outpost. We in the outpost, yeah.
I walk out my front door and I hit Lincoln Street. I see people riding bikes and using their feet. You see people in this town, yeah, they like to think about making a better world, to work and to sleep. But they also want a place to play and relax, so they go to the park or they hit the book stacks. That's where you find us, just resting on our backs, or on the dance floor in the skanking attack. We hit the outpost. We in the outpost, yeah. We in the outpost.
How's it going?
Oh, not so good now that Brian.
It happens.
This is Acoustic Conversations. Thank you for downloading, everybody. It's good to have you join us as usual. I am Pete Wright. I'm sitting here with Shane Corsetti. Shane,
What is up? What is up?
how you doing, man?
I'm doing well especially after listening to that music too.
Oh man,
Yeah, it was tight.
this is really listenable music.
Yeah. Well, not only that too. All I could think about was like being on the waterfront at some the beer fest, or I don't know,
about the Hemp Fest?
or Hemp Fest or something.
Hello. Hello, Burning Man.
Yeah.
Actually playing the Brewers Fest.
All right.
on
There you
Waterfront.
go.
And that's all I could think about was just standing there, just
Awesome.
I'm not much of a dancer, but
You were dancing.
I
when you
was.
were moving.
I
I
was.
saw you moving your head.
Yeah, I was bobbing.
That'll work.
Doing a little white man.
Yeah, that's right.
We're sitting here with, we're just discussing it. Who are you? You're Outpost, right?
Yeah.
Just Outpost.
Just outpost.
There's no
Formerly known as Outpost Reggae on MySpace.
No, it's just
But
that's
not
what
for
we
long.
have up there.
That's just the URL, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something
So
that we
just
needed to
outpost.
put
And it's-
together a while ago. so.
It's Outpost. It's little O, little U, little T, big P.
Sometimes
You're like
Sometimes
NyQuil,
spelled
you
that
know,
way,
big
but
N,
really
little
spelled
Y,
out.
We don't
big
like-
Q.
We don't like to limit ourselves. We like all feds of font. You know, it doesn't really matter how we spell it.
Originally, it was for symmetry, but
He
we've
likes it
become
that way.
I like symmetry, but
It doesn't matter either way.
Let's go around the room and do introductions. Who are you guys?
I'm Chris Cooch. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Tyler Stouse. I play bass.
I'm Temp Bill. I'm an MC.
I'm Oscar. I'm a drummer.
My name's Philip. I go by the moniker P Hill and I sing.
Let's talk about monikers, can we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I looked at your MySpace page, and the first thing I think of is who are these guys? I want to see their names, but they all have hip hop names.
Some of us.
They are all they are all much cooler than I am, and I don't know what to do with that. Where does it
I think
come
it's because
from?
his name's Couch or Cooch.
You don't even know his name.
No, that was a joke actually. But I think it's because it's Cooch. It's just like
That's just what he goes by.
Everyone calls it the wrong name, but as soon as everyone finds it out, they're like, "Is that your real name?
Yeah.
Is that your real name?"
It's a
dude?"
trip we're gonna have preschool and have.
Is it Cooch though, like the street?
Yeah,
Cooch? Really
Just like it.
interesting.
All right, so is that your street name, Cooch?
No, my family's from East. I wish it was my street.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your hip hop name. Do you have one?
Oh no,
Do you all
I call myself special guest. I was a long time ago. I opened for a friend, and it was like Tyson with special guest, and that was me. So I just kind of kept
You've
that.
just been special guest.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
We refer to him like that in songs sometimes.
Yeah, we got a lot of a hip hop vibe. So like being able to take that. I just at least with the monikers. I mean, it's pretty cool. I think.
All right, so special guest. Who else do we have? What are your other names?
Well, I go by Temp Bill. Partially, it's for reasons that I work for a company who may not agree with everything that we say in our lyrics, so I mask myself and separate myself from the company a little bit by the moniker, but also the moniker is like something that's very real to me. It's a reminder that like temp ill is like temporary. You're here. You're only here for a little while, and you're ill. You know, like there's a lot of people that don't feel right out there, and I'm one of them. And you know, we're trying to figure out why we don't feel right. You know, why from the birth. You know, why do you just feel like there's something wrong maybe, and or there's something wrong with you, but maybe there's not something wrong with you. Maybe there's something wrong with everything else. So it's just trying to express that.
Let's talk about that as a function of the band. A lot of your songs have some pretty.
What's wrong with you guys? No, I'm just
you
kidding.
know, a lot of your tunes have a real defined statement that you're trying to make. What do you stand for collectively?
Better world.
Yeah, man. A lot of our music, especially what we just did on our album that's coming out, is like it's all very much a part of how we live in our daily lives, and like how we write is stuff we feel and stuff we see on a daily basis. And you know, you don't see us. We're not singing about girls and stuff because. Oh, sadly, no.
you got in the band to get the girls, right? Yeah.
But for the most part, like we're singing about stuff that's it's pretty important, and stuff that has substance, and you know, it affects our daily life. So it's a lot of our music is really personal.
It involves some conversation, like we'll just be sitting around doing our thing, and like, you know, a certain subject will keep coming up or whatnot, and it'll just find its way into a song or find its way into a hook, and then we come back to the song and we listen to it and we're like, damn, that's exactly how we really feel about it. And you know, so it's because it came from us, came from our original thoughts. You know, what we were really thinking about something.
You call yourselves activists? Are you an activist band?
No, I don't want to label us like that. We're just who we are, and we're trying to express exactly what we do and how and why it works for us. And like I think, you know, labeling us as an activist band is kind of like just grouping us in a category that, you know, people that it gets a label without like actually any substance, you know. So we'd rather just provide the substance, and then
we're a good
see that it's us.
Good cause.
Yeah.
We are, you know, we're I don't know, I feel like when I get up in the morning, man, I don't ever think of you know, what's the game plan going to be to facilitate my goal necessarily, as much as I think of just the goal at heart consistently. And so in turn, I think it more or less just becomes like that vibe that you get from that new person in the room, or that song that makes you creep, or something like that, you know, something that strikes a chord when somebody says something, you know, that thing that'll be like, hey, let me get your number so we can hang out again, you know. All those types of things is like, I feel like that's where we have the most impact, and that's how I feel about outPost, and like what it's really about is like the intimacy of where we are people. We're a common race, and we're in this all together.
Yeah, it's cool. Like everywhere we've gone, everything that we've done, everybody has wanted to work with us. I mean, it's not because we're, you know, the most amazing musicians or anything. I mean, we have an attitude where we want to make the best out of whatever situation we're in. Yeah. And because of that,
doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun doing it, and because of that, I mean, there's everybody. We haven't run into anybody that doesn't want to work with us yet, and it's been a blessing. This whole thing, everything has just been one person after the next saying, you know, how much they feel what we're doing, and that speaks to, you know, how our attitude is at this house and what we're trying to portray to everybody else.
Yeah.
You all live here together?
Yeah, mm-hmm. All 5 of us.
Wow.
I interrupted, man. What were you saying?
Well, I would say, like, instead of an activist band, we're a unity band. We're like, bring it together.
Yeah,
know?
Absolutely.
Like, just, you know, there's you know, we're not trying to exclude. We're just trying to unify.
So you guys have like a unified front message, you know, whatever you want to call it, but unity is a big thing for you guys, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so
it sounds cliche, man, but like, you know, one love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kingdom is calling.
Your kingdom is calling.
Your kingdom future, yet we living in the past. Little girls wearing G-strings, they growing up too fast. Looking out my window, I see children in the ghetto. They mind a block of wood, television, they just pedal. I'm a real boy, who's to say what's real? What if your reality's to borrow, beg and steal? What do we expect? Look at their role model, damn to spin their lives, drowning in the bottle of perpetual poverty, institutional sorrow. What you gonna do today when there's no food for tomorrow? The kingdom is calling.
Your kingdom is calling.
Your kingdom.
So talk about your chemistry as a band, though. Like, how the five of you guys fit together? You know, are you guys are you guys unified, or
How we fit together musically and how we fit together like locally in the house.
do it both? Both of them.
different.
Very different. But you know, like I've seen so much growth between all of us, all five of us, and learning to live as a unit, and learning to like be able to give up a piece of yourself to what's going on in here, and be able just to kind of exist and help the flow.
It's been an experiment, man.
Oh, you totally.
Putting 5 dudes in the house together that are all, you know, we
Real world. No.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
completely
And we all write music together and play shows together, and we're on the road together. You know, we get along really, really well considering
how much time we spend together.
Yeah, and just how it happened, how it all happened.
Let's talk about that. Let's give us some background. I mean, how you introduced me to outPost, and all I had access to was a couple of tracks on MySpace.
Right.
And I've been dying every time I see you. Right.
Yeah.
Begging for more, and it's great. But to me, you're an undiscovered band, right? I mean, you are an unknown quantity, and it's just a real pleasure to be able to see you guys jam and play here in the living room. But you've been together for a while now, right?
Not that
How long?
man.
I
How
mean,
long
there's
are you talking
levels
about?
of how long we've been together.
All right, tell the story.
Where's the beginning?
The beginning is Chris and Brian and myself, or Temple and myself, we went to college together. So we met 6-7 years ago. But that's not when we started making music together. Like our friendships kind of developed over the years. Brian went to London. We had different roles in school and whatnot. And then after we got done, Chris and I moved east and decided to come back west again.
This is in the fall of 05. We decided.
Fall of 2005.
Yeah.
And Brian flew out to meet up with us, so we all drove back together. And that's what we ended up writing the song Miles about how we came together, just the three of us, and started to write music together and kind of think collectively and have these collective experiences and really understand what it means to like put everything out on the table along with the guy next to you, put it all together.
Completely.
Unclear, look left, see the next 10 years. Look right, forget my face in the mirror. All these miles have led me here. My next step, unclear. Look left, see the next 10 years. Look right, I shift my life into gear. New York sunset, send off right on. We see the famine head south down to Yukon. I can't stay away when your hips tell the truth. I couldn't stop staring at a Jerry Bear tattoo. I'd like to stay, but I got to go. Cruise by Candlestick, my caddy, and a cold natty bow. I've never been to NC before. I found a whiskey bar and the time to smell a rose. We head south and west. Summer sun is a test for pale skin but close kin. Help me bear and grin. I got to find some shade for national parks unpaid. And if I make it big, I'll pay them back one day. Just one more stop before the 503. And I've been thinking about a girl who's been thinking about me. Stop in NorCal, see trees taller than me. Last stretch, homebound, no more need to dream. All these miles have led me here.
Me and Brian, I wrote this song while I was in New Hampshire out east, and I wrote it as a poem. I had this riff, you know, I really had never picked up that had planned on playing guitar seriously ever. You know, I played for my friends and I played every once in a while, you know, but like I picked up this guitar and I jammed that riff, and we played this show a couple weeks later, you know, with that song that I did, which is Kingdom. And then we did that 16-bar song that you heard earlier at this show. It was just him and I. And then like a month later, Philip busted in with, "Hey, I got this verse," and it was for Headlines, which we did too. And then after that, like we just started we had like 13 songs.
In the first month, 2 months, like we were just writing machines.
Yeah. But it was just me with an acoustic and these two guys singing, so it wasn't ever anything big. You know?
And then eventually, like, we incorporated another acoustic guitar in, but it was still...
We were playing open mics.
It was like hanging out with your homies playing.
It was really raw, man. It was the type of thing you'd see, you know, like at a party, a whole bunch of people drinking and stuff. Oh, you got a guitar? Oh, check this out, you know?
Yeah.
And, you play some tunes. I have it on my iPod just by chance, and it's like I just happen to hear it click on. And I hear this song, and I hear him introduce it as, okay, we got this song, and well, we're gonna try and play it for you, but we don't know the chorus yet. And it was Kingdom, and it was just this song in pieces with this little rink-a-dink slapping drum, which I mean it was grooving, but it was like I just couldn't believe it, man. You'll get to see further in the story that I came much later.
Yeah.
So we as a band existed for almost like 9 months. As
for the three of you.
Yeah,
the three of us.
We never really did gigs.
2 guitars, and we had a buddy
played outside a donut shop.
Yeah, we had a buddy. We had a buddy who tapped on some hand drums for us. His name was Virgil, and he was he drove the beat for a while, but we met Oscar in September, and we actually
it was a friend
in
friend.
September of last year.
Completely by accident.
No, he's from Delaware, and he hitchhiked across Canada, comes down through Portland because he had a connection through a friend here, and it happened to be through our same friend. So we went over there to jam out one day, and he was just there crashing on the couch, and he just picked up on the set.
Yeah, still
and
thinking
we
like he
started
was gonna
jamming
move
together.
on through to.
And
South
we were like, hey,
America.
dude, we got a show next week. Come play kit for us. And he's like, all right, I'll stay till next week because he was planning on heading down to South America. And we played a couple gigs, and he's like, all right, I'll just stay in Portland.
It's always another week.
Let's start this band, you know?
It was like the first gig that we did. At the end of it, we all came back to the house, and we were all just drinking wine, and all 3 of us were just like, Philip, Chris, and I were all just came to us. We were just like, you got to move into the house. You got to come stay with us.
We have an extra room.
They brought this to me. Okay, was the deciding factor for me. We went to, aside from the fact that they were fun dudes, and they sang this song, and it's just hysterical. We were hanging out and having a blast at the bar and getting drunk, and they says, hey man, we don't know if you're interested in staying in Oregon, but we got this room. It's all ready for you. It's got a feather bed. and they're like giving me perks. And I'm like, I mean, it sounds awesome, you know, but first thing that comes to my mind is they're going to be like, okay, yeah, rent's due. Right out the door I go. And then I said, hey, I don't have any money to give you at all. They said, oh, we don't care. Just drum.
We knew it.
All right, this is why I'm balling as a
We met
preschool
him,
teacher.
and he played drums with us once or twice, and we just knew it.
You can't refuse something like that.
Yeah, you had me at Featherbed.
So I guess the rest
Take
is
it easy, Renee.
Yeah, so that was in September.
All right.
And then
That was actually in the.
It was in the summer still. It was like August.
It was
September.
I got here the beginning of August. It was probably
yeah.
like
It was
a
middle
week and a half
August.
after I got here, middle of August.
mid-August.
Headline story time. People of all kind make their way through the street, nod their head to the beat. They don't think much of the crash or the scream, but their hearts start racing at the sight of the news team. Are they gonna talk to me? Oh, are they gonna talk to me? Cameras all around now, asking me what I found, telling me it's prime time, 'cause I'm the witness to the crime. 100 set of ears, only one set of eyes. There's people all around, but they're trapped in their own mind. I guess they'd rather read the headline. Read the headline. Media run amok. Read them headlines. Of a world gone corrupt. Read them headlines. Feel the awe, but no shock in them headlines. As seen on your block.
We met Tyler together through a friend. These
So
girls that
random.
we knew, they were all of a sudden, oh, you need a bass player. Why didn't we think of this before? And they knew Tyler because he's played with some big bands. And
Tyler, come on, dish it. Where'd you come from?
Talking to my Tyler.
Where did I come from? Nah, I came from Jersey. Ended up traveling a bunch. Ended up in Portland. Played in a bunch of bands with some great music. And a friend randomly was like, "Hey, I got these friends that are playing. They need a bass player." And we jammed that one night. Had a blast. And then 3 weeks later, played our first show together. Jumped in a van to go play California a week after that. And I knew after that it would be easy to live with everybody. Everybody is so fun to get along, even in their most extreme moments. It's still fun.
good time. Yeah, once we're driving back from California, Tyler's like, "So I've been thinking." I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking too. You should move in." He's like, "Yeah, I was just about to ask."
We had to build a new room.
I know there's no room upstairs, but do you mind if I build one?
for him.
That's so romantic.
So that was 8.
Did you get a feather bed out
That
of
was
the
8
deal, or-
months ago.
And
And here we
8
are.
months.
We're about to drop an
Out of
album.
the deal.
It's awesome.
8 months, and
But
you're
he
about
had
to
a
pop
job
out your
already,
first
so-
album. So yeah, let's talk about what was it?
So he had a job already. So
That's right. All right. So let's talk about where the music comes from. Like we talked about where some of these early tracks came from, right? Some of these early poems that you've turned into musical genius. But now you're here. You're all living together, and you say you make music together. How does the music come together for you right now?
So many different ways for each song.
all different ways.
Yeah. I mean,
Everything starts differently. Like Chris will come up with a riff, or Brian will come up with a melody or something, or someone will come up
Just
with an
words.
idea. Just an idea for like a theme, and all of a sudden we'll be like, "Dude, I've been thinking about that for weeks. I want to write a verse about that," and then we'll all come back together and be like, "We were thinking the same things." And next thing you know, like 2 or 3 hours, and bam! Next thing you know, we got like a fucking track.
we see the same thing. Like we look, we observe, and when we all come up with an idea, we've all seen it before, and we have an ability to comment on it in a way that complements each other.
Yeah, in our own, I don't know, special way, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all 3 different, very different vocalists,
Very different people.
and we all have very different styles, but we're all able to approach.
And don't get us wrong, there are fucking... Oh, I swears loud.
And there's the explicit tag.
Explicit tag.
That's-
Alright, so there are those moments where everybody doesn't always see eye to eye, and it is a little challenging to learn and grow together, writing even.
Mhm.
It's like you gotta take a deep breath once in a while.
It's like a marriage.
It is.
Completely, I'm
taking
so
all
married to
challenges.
this.
Respecting each other's space.
I explained that to my mom earlier this week. I said, like, you have to, like, she just doesn't understand why I've completely abandoned, like, the family. And it's not like I've abandoned them, but I live
What
here.
exactly do you guys have to do to get into this house?
It's crazy, but like we live in a situation where I was like, you got to think about this as a fiance or as a wife, because the band
committed
is
relationship.
it's committed relationship. It's more real than just a friendship or just like a bunch of guys living in a house.
And there's
trying to get
compromise,
by.
and there's
A lot of it.
We're a family. We're absolutely a non-traditional family.
see each other at your best and your worst. That's
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, through and through.
And that's the cool part. Everybody here is beautiful, even at their worst. So it makes it easy.
So you guys were talking earlier, we're talking a little bit about the songwriting process, and we're all drinking some fine PBR, and you guys dropped the PAPS session. Is that what you guys call it?
Oh yeah, like a year ago, around this time, we did me and Brian and Philip, and we had Virgil on hand drums, and we did it right here in this living room with a bunch of friends on these couches, and
Hammer drunk.
Hammer.
Drank so much pap.
many paps were consumed, and it didn't turn out as great as we surprise. But I mean, it turned out good enough to where our friend was like, "Yo, I feel like I could do this for you guys," and then because of that, we met Oscar.
It was a snapshot.
Because of that.
Yeah.
It was a snapshot, and that's what we recorded a demo, maybe 6 months later, and it was just 6 songs. But that's just you know, it didn't turn out exactly how we wanted, but it was a snapshot of us. This is another step. You know, just,
We needed something before we could get out to California to hang out with
Exactly.
people, and we did. We pumped it out in like 6 days. But I mean, that compared to like what we've done now is just mind blowing because this new CD is great.
I build myself up in the sand, foolish man pound sticks for sound foundations and grounds belief, solid by masses, stuck in quicksand, on a passage, leaving in path for light refraction, chasing styrofoam distraction, climb tower spiral downward in hourglasses that melt like when waves hit sandcastles, believe I'm a special crack in the desert, playing the rain in a desiccant measure, crumbles at my feet, I'm my invention, I feel increment, I feel an ending, remembering on and not regretting, gather my lesson like a debt collector, keep light from a son who stood on ocean, I walk on quicksand toward the outpost, feeling drip drop, here come the rain, no matter how it fall, you can't put out this flame, no, 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 keep on back to the inside, progress down toward the light, just keep it deep inside, but let it shine.
Let's talk about the studio process, particularly compared to playing live. I mean, you guys, you know, I listen to you guys, and you feel, even here in the living room, you feel like a jam band. You know, I mean, you feel like these songs could go on forever, and they would just be great. And yet, you know, the studio. You know, I've heard musicians say the studio sterilizes you.
It's hard.
It's definitely difficult.
to keep that energy.
When we made our demo, that was our first comments coming back to us were this is lacking in any of our live shows. You know, it just didn't really have that same feel to it. And so we went back in to do the full length album, and that was like the focus is we have to capture this. We have to be able to sink this in. You know, what makes people dance at concerts, what makes people really have a good time. That's what we need to bring to the CD.
So how'd you do that? I mean,
Just kept our energy up.
Vibe.
We
Which is
lived
tough to do.
We lived at almost like a higher speed than we normally live. We just sort of we kind of juiced ourselves into it, you know, through overconsumption obviously, but
10 hours a day.
but 10 hours a day,
Yeah,
like
for
overconsumption on
many
every
days is insane.
every sense of the
And for a month before that, we were practicing 4 days a week, just the tracks over and over, same songs over and over.
you know,
Just getting
We got our
ourselves
technical stuff
nailed
down so we could
and-
work on the energy in the studio, which
Yeah.
was awesome.
yeah.
One of the
And
benefits
now
of
the music.
benefits of living together too, right?
Exactly.
And we
And
had
that's-
great engineering help. Our engineer Dave Boyle, he was
Awesome.
fantastic.
Dave, you're the man.
Fantastic, man.
So
He
easy
really,
to work
really
with. So easy to work with. It made all the difference.
What
caught onto
studio
our
was it?
vibe. Studio 212 in Damascus. It was awesome.
Damascus,
It was
Oregon.
it was in a
Yeah.
barn. There were
Props
horses. You
to
step
Damascus.
outside.
And it was
It
such
was
a
blue
nice
sky.
vibe to be able to be out of the city, and if
Break
you
out
need
of
just
the
take a
whole thing.
breath
Yeah.
away from listening to so much music, you just walk outside. There's horses and trees, and it's like
Boys.
farmland.
No
It
smog.
feels good.
Like you can see things
Easy.
clear.
Easy to recuperate to get
Yeah.
back in.
Easy on the pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Dave
it
fell
was
right
awesome.
into it as soon as we got there. Like he knew, like it didn't take him very long to catch on what we were doing, what we were about, like anything else.
What
Like
we
he was just
wanted.
like, oh yeah, this is
Fit right
nice. This
in.
is home. Like let's do this, guys.
You
Fit
feel like
right
this?
in
You
to
feel
make
like the
this
CD
happen.
captured who Outpost really is?
Yeah.
We're gonna go pick it up tonight.
Find out tonight.
We're really gonna find out.
I really, like, even listening to the other stuff, like, you know,
Pre-mastering, yes.
we set out
Yeah.
to have a definite feeling on this album, you know, and we put the songs in an order that randomly worked out to this great.
They
It's
tell our
almost like a
story.
story
They tell our story
about us, you know. Not very many bands could say they did something like that on their first one, so
Yeah.
this is pretty awesome.
Where can people find you? And I mean that in two ways. Where do they find you to learn more about you? Is MySpace pretty much it right now?
MySpace is big. We got upcoming website, youknowhowie.com.
You know Howie.
YouYoUKNOWHOWIE.com.
Where does that come from?
One of our
It's
tracks.
kind of it's a mantra.
track,
It's a
yeah.
mantra.
How we roll.
It's,
You know how we
you
do.
know how we do. It's just
So,
like
like,
if
how
you
he's a
know us,
person.
you know how we
Yeah.
work. How we do.
Hey, Howie comes with us wherever we roll.
Mr. Howie Do.
Yeah.
Sixth
Exactly.
sixth
Howie.
member of the band.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
Howie comes
he's
with
the
us wherever we go.
infamous,
All right, so Howie.com is coming right now. It's
MySpace.
myspace.com/
Outpost Reggae.
outpost reggae, and the new CD is coming out
July 14th.
July
July
14th,
14th.
and you're gonna have a little fete.
Yeah, we're having a block
how'd you
party,
do?
38th and Lincoln.
Howie.
You know how it is. Where we're gonna shut down the block. We're gonna have like 5 bands play. It's gonna be killer. We're gonna go from
All
like
afternoon.
2 in the afternoon, I don't
PM.
to 8 or
Dark.
whenever
Then
they
shift
tell
it
us
to
we
the
need to.
other after hours.
So we're gonna have some food for people, but bring your own beverages.
And then at late when we shut it down, we're gonna roll out to Tom's Sports Bar and Grill on
Down the street.
39th and Division.
After party. have
After
some
party there.
DJ and just good times, just hanging out with
DJ
friends
C
and-
Sharp.
Awesome,
So yeah,
awesome.
outpost Crack the Pavement. It's coming out.
Fantastic. So, Outpost Reggae, I assume there's more information for folks to learn about you guys on MySpace. There's some tracks up there. We're going to have we did 6 acoustic tracks tonight.
Tight tracks too. They were
Really tight.
Thank you, guys.
They were just fantastic. So we're going to have those up on acousticconversations.com, and you guys will have links to those shows for you guys to do whatever you want to do with as well on your site. So
Thank
we
you.
hope that,
Thanks, Pete.
You guys have been a
Link that
blessing.
to
Yeah, thank you very
guys
much.
to your
I mean-
area with the link on our website.
Well, we sure appreciate it. This is just a real treat for us to come and hang out and just listen to some great music with quality people. So it's been a real pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
One
very
love.
much.
With that, Shane, you have any other announcements?
it's a great show.
It was a great show.
Great songs.
Good music.
Yeah.
AcousticConversations.com.
You had to be
And
there.
don't forget to check out our other show, Beer30Live.com.
That's right.
Nice.
And that one
Grab a Pabst.
is
Yeah.
Beer 30.
Beer 30.
30.
Someone get me a beer.
Beer 30.
Beer 30.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Acoustic Conversations. We're going to close it. What should we close it with?
I don't know.
La Capella.
No, what we did tonight. What should we close it with? The show.
What's the website called?
Bus stops.
Bus stops. Bus stops. Here's a little bus stops.
La da 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 da. 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 I tear past the vacuums and ties of my mind. The earth marching plays to keep much more than time. Retentive inventions of man I despise. My poor win pennies for thoughts cost me dimes. So on this perilous path still I rise. I know that my home is where my heart rides. I set my outpost up down deep inside. Foresee this fortress within my mind's eye. Derivate this division of life. Subtract back to a less complex time. Inverse love of power in my verse. I will find the earth rests in peace. And so does my mind. Sitting at the bus stop, sitting at the bus stop, waiting for my ride to come, waiting for my ride to with a little bit of patience, little bit of patience. I'll be home before my day is done. Before the day is sitting at the bus stop, sitting at the bus stop. My voices keep me company, voices keep me company. With a little bit of music, a little bit of music, and a beat to flow me down the street, beat to flow me down another day. Has come to a close, and all these people that I'll never know, it makes me wish I had something to show for the 20-odd years out on this winding road. La la. La da 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 da. La da da.